I don't know what that meant, but okay dokie. Hey guys, welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. Last time we did Halloween, and I don't know, we're gonna see what happens next. Man, it's late in the morning. I'm glad that there's no school today. Feels weird sleeping in this late from doing something besides playing games. I was up at least until 1 in the morning just reading. It isn't incredibly often, but I find myself reading more lately. It started when I found that I was getting tired of playing the same games over and over. I wouldn't know that problem. The monotony of just logging in, playing, winning, some but losing, more just felt so unsatisfying. Winning some but losing. While there's some people who I'd play with every once in a while, we hardly talked about anything except the games. The session would usually end with someone getting irritated and leaving anyway. With books, on the other hand, I can open and close them even at school and pick up where I left off. Plus, I don't have to rely on Wi-Fi to read books. Even up until just recently, when I read for classes, it felt really forced. I still feel the way when I have to read something dry and boring like a textbook. But it's different when I get to pick something to read that's genuinely interesting. I wonder if I could feel the same way about games if I were forced to play them for class. It's an interesting thing to ask. I don't know. While I want to dismiss the idea of disliking games altogether, I feel like I'm getting tired of anything really quick if it were forced on me. A stomach growl interrupts my morning rumination. Looks like it's time to grab some breakfast. My morning routine finishes, I settle down at my desk. I should probably do some homework. Ugh. What the? English is one seriously weird language. How do kids learn how to speak it in the West? We're born with it. You know what? I think it's time for a break. Most of my homework is done. Anyway, so it seems like it's a good time to take a walk. That's where we're probably gonna meet Yuri. Whoa, it's dark out. Man, the gray clouds are really looming today. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Although, where am I going? I don't really have any destination in particular. I guess I'll just walk around for now and see what catches my eye. Downtown Street, and the anime's around. I end up wandering near a shopping center. Wait a minute, it looks like there's a bookstore here as well. Maybe I can ask Yuri to check it out with me sometime. But in the meantime, a sweet smell catches my attention. It smells like freshly baked pastries. I wouldn't mind grabbing something sweet right about now. It seems like a quaint little bakery is the culprit of the fragrance permeating the air. And are those Sayori and Natsuki sitting at those outside? All the more reason to take a look at the bakery. Hey guys, fancy meeting you here. Huh? Oh, hi, Salty. The two of them are seated at a small corner table. Natsuki's holding a couple of cream puffs to herself rather positively, while Sayori munching on 3 giant cookies. She's happy to see us, for once. This seems like a pretty nice place. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Oh, what was her voice? They have some real great sweets like their vanilla cake. And the giant chocolate chip cookies are super yummy. Sayori practically unhinges her jaw to take another bite of a cookie. Rawr! She's like a snake. I'm surprised to see you out of the house. What brings you here? Stalking girls in your free time? Nah, the sin of sweets called my name. Plus I need to take a break from homework. There's only so many equations that I can look at before my head starts spinning. I thought you were doing English. Not to mention English as a language is a nightmare to learn. My chair is stuck. Okay, I'm free. I seriously don't get why you have to learn stuff like Algebra 2 and Calculus. Unless if we were doing something really math-related for our jobs, I doubt we'll ever use this stuff. Well, at least English is pretty useful. I mean, I guess. Hey, why don't you grab something to eat already? Sounds like a plan. Bread! We got bread, and we got Ed, and we got sale. I glance up the menu as I make my way to the counter. Looks like this place has a variety of teas as well, including oolong tea. I should really learn about the other types of tea, too. Oolong is the only one I know Yuri drinks. Nevertheless, I'm sure Yuri would like this place. On top of teas, they have cakes, donuts, croissants, bagels, pastries, ranging from sweets to sours and pretty much everything bread related. Guess I'll have a chocolate cake and orange-infused black tea. They have some chocolate brownies that look really good as well, but with my exercise habit, they're probably way too rich for me. I set my tray down with a clatter once I get back on a table. I forgot to mention that this background's brand new. It's pretty nice. They got mocha and espresso. So what'd you get? I went with the chocolate cake and black tea. Not Yuri's oolong tea then. Yeah, to be honest, I think it's a little bit too bitter for me. All tea is bitter. It's only good for you if you had tons of sugar in it. It's definitely an acquired taste. On another note, this cake looks really good though. The chocolate cake is thick and dense, with 3 layers of different kinds of chocolate in between the cake. Just looking at this is giving me a sugar high. And I could call the brownies rich. Ha ha ha. On the other hand, the tea is rather bittersweet, with a hint of orange cutting through the bitterness of the tea. As I picked up a fork, I noticed Sayori eyeing my cake. Get away from it! To be fair, it is a rather large slice. I take a chunk out of it with my fork, trying to balance all the layers on it. Taking a bite, the sweetness is not as overwhelming as I thought it would be. Instead, it feels like it's incredibly thick. The dark chocolate envelops my tongue and the fudge melting in my mouth. The girls look at me as I grin like an idiot. You're making such a funny face, Salty. Yeah, you're really funny looking. Hey, this is some good cake, Natsuki. Sayori keeps on staring at the cake. Hey, Sayori, you want a bite? Of course. She takes her fork and takes a chunk out of the part that I didn't touch. You want some too, Natsuki? Are you sure? Come on, you want me to just get fat trying to eat all of this myself? Pfft. You're already out of shape as it is. No need to have packing on the extra pounds. Damn. She takes a chunk of the cake and eats it. If you eat some more, maybe you'll get as big as strong as me someday. She's stuck between wanting to insult me and taking her time to choose so she doesn't choke. This feels pretty satisfying to watch. Sayori, on the other hand, has been awfully quiet. Sayori? Looks like Sayori took another chunk of my cake while I was focusing on Natsuki. Her mouth's filled with cake. You're so cheeky sometimes. You try to prep for the winter now? I don't appreciate you calling me fat. Sayori, chew your food with your mouth closed like a normal person. A month passes and Sayori finishes the mouthful of cake. I don't like it when you call me fat. Sayori, you literally have 3 giant cookies in front of you, and I let you have a chunk of my cake already. Scratch that, too. She really knows how to put food down. She looks like she is gonna gain a little weight. At this rate, you might as well sign up for the sumo club while you're at it. Ow, damn. They have a sumo club? I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And if they don't, you could be its captain. Oh, man. But then I have to leave the literature club. Yeah, I think I'll pass. Besides, who wants to watch a bunch of dudes in skimpy belts push each other around inside of a ring? It sounds super gross and sweaty. I mean, probably girls, maybe? I don't know. Well, I guess they're kind of overweight and fat, so I don't know. It's a respectable sport. It's a respectable sport, Natsuki. Pretty sure you have to have a fair amount of muscle to do it as well. Well, that's what I'm seeing on TV. It seems like a lot more than fat people having a shoving contest. I hear it, sumo wrestler dies, they have to like dump their bodies into the ocean because they can't bury them because they're so huge. So they just kind of have a burial at sea kind of thing. It's kind of sad. Plus, you need to have good balance if you don't want to fall down and lose. Maybe you should write a sumo-inspired poem if you like it so much. 2 men in a ring. A battle of wills and pride. Guts override fear. I give a mock bow. That's better than what I expected from you. Far from being as good as one of my poems, though. Did you make up that haiku on the spot? Nope, I heard it on a show. Yep, totally. Definitely a salty original. The way Natsuki shoots me in a glare doesn't reassure me that they're convinced. Anyway, that cake was pretty good. Or the part that I had were good. Yeah! Hey, I should get going soon. Got exams to study for? You could say that, yeah. She looks off to the side, obviously not thrilled with going home to study. Looks like I should be getting going too. So, you want to walk back home with me? Sure, that sounds fun. I quickly wolfed down the rest of my food as the others began packing up. Since I'm here, I might as well grab something to take home, too. Hold up one sec, I'm gonna grab something to take home. Okay. I guess I'll see y'all later then. See you in the club, Natsuki. We wave goodbye to each other as I head back to the counter and buy 2 more slices of chocolate cake to go. Alright, let's go, Sayori. Alrighty. They're so cute together. They might be my next choice. I got pizza and chips and sody pop coming back to haunt me. I haven't talked to Sayori as much as I'd like to lately. This is an good excuse to do so. Especially since exams are coming up, and we are going to eat up a lot of our times. So you think you'll do alright with everything? With what? For a moment, it was like Sayori's a little shaken, but she quickly dispels that with a smile. You know, with exams and all that. Oh yeah, I think I'll be fine. Mom's been helping me here and there too, so you got nothing to worry about. That's good. Just make sure to take care of yourself. No point cramming if you end up sleeping in and missing all your exams. Yeah. Sayori kicks on the rock on the sidewalk a few feet in front of her, and I get the feeling a hard decision might be coming up. I don't know why, but... It clatters away, bouncing into the asphalt road. Is something up? Oh, I'm just a bit tired since I ate a lot. That makes sense. Considering how many cookies and pieces of cake you had, it's no wonder you're exhausted. Just make sure to eat something good every once in a while, okay? Says the guy carried 2 slices of chocolate cake. Okay, you got me there. Well, how about this? I hand Sayori a bag holding one of the slices of cake. Now we can be fat together. Oh, now we can be fat together. Plus, I wanted to thank you for taking care of me when I was sick before Halloween. Together? That'd be really nice, Salty. Thanks for the cake. Maybe I should try playing a sport like Monica. Otherwise, everything is probably going to catch up to me sooner or later. I like to see Monica beat you up in tennis. So Monica's a tennis player, huh? We arrived in front of Sayori's house. Considering how she looked so glum, she must be having a stomachache. Oh well, she'll be fine once everything gets digested. Because of the grayness, maybe? Grayness. Causing her depression to be extra stupid. I'll catch you later, Sayori. See ya! I sigh as I head back to my house. Oh, back to the grind. Yay! That was too quick of a chapter. We gotta do more. Yeah, well, at least there wasn't a transition where I had to make a decision. Guess we're not doing poems anymore. Oh, I don't remember your voice. Come on. I mean, I only have like 2, so... There were so many Reich marks floating around, hyperinflation became a real issue. Money was more or less useless. Like Monopoly money. I suppose that's one way to see it. Well, caught there for now, guys. That marks the end of another lesson. On to more important news. Yay, it's time for lunch. I quickly check my bag. Oh gosh darn it, of course I forgot my lunch. With a sigh, I start making my way to the vending machine in the hallway. A soft tap on my shoulder causes me to spin around. Hmm? Hey, Salty! Hey, you haven't killed yourself, that's good. Yo, Sayori! Wanna come sit with us? She motions back to Monica and Yuri standing on the side. They're all carrying their own lunchboxes from their own lunchboxes. From my I lost it. They're all carrying their own lunchboxes. From my stomach's grumbling, I'm pretty sure it's jealous of them. Maybe a good conversation with them can help distract me from my hunger. She forgot his food. She's gonna split his food! Her food! Oh, that might be the decision. Like, whose food do you want to take, you know? Sure, it sounds good to me. Oh, and they're up on the roof? That's so classic Animu! A few minutes later, we find ourselves on the roof. I don't know what makes the roof such an attractive lunch spot. Maybe it's the refreshing breeze. Where's Natsuki? Either way, I'm pretty glad that no one started locking the rooftop door yet. When they start getting suicides, they will. Huh, that's strange. Where's Natsuki? Oh, she texted me... Where's Monica's voice. Oh, she texted me to say she wasn't feeling very well, so she didn't come in. Anyway, how are you holding up with the exams coming up? Well, I'm not thrilled with the whole idea of exams. I think I'll do well enough on them. What about you guys? Haha, with any luck, I'll do well. Cram school sure helps keep me on track. Monica, you don't even need any luck. You're probably going to be first in our year as usual. And the probability that your grades are purely based on luck is infinitesimally small. Thanks for the support, guys. How are you doing with your study, Yuri? Oh, you know how it goes. Studying is the most absorbing activity in the world, but we do what we must. Yuri, I'm surprised that you actually dislike reading sometimes. Well, it's, you know, just because I don't complain, it doesn't mean that I like it. That doesn't mean I like it. There are plenty of books that I dislike for some reason or another. Like what? Just books that are poorly written or clumsily thought out themes. It's kind of weird knowing that Yuri actually dislikes something, other than manga, that is. Anyway, what are you about you, Sayori? How are you doing in your exam preparations? Sayori looks away, her half-smile not exactly emanating confidence. I think I'll do fine. Some of my classes are pretty easy for me, like Japanese. Yeah, that's kind of cheating. Let me guess, you're not excited for the STEM subject. Not so excited for the STEM. What's the STEM subject? Yeah. I'll be fine, though. I just gotta study some more. It should be okay. Well, that's good. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Yuri staring at me. Not wanting to back down, though, I turn to stare back at her. What's up, Yuri? Ugh! She quickly looks down, her face reddened. Nothing. I noticed that you didn't bring your lunch. That's because I don't have one today. Did you forget your lunch again? Hey, what do you mean by forget? And no, it's not like my mom packs my lunch anymore. Why didn't you buy anything then? Lines would probably have been too long. They're acting all motherly, they're like, you need to eat, baby boy. Guess you're starving today then, eh? Except for Monica, damn! Yep, guess so. I sighed, they all unpacked their own lunches already. The food looks all the more tantalizing, given that I have nothing in front of me. As expected, Yuri brought a homemade bento, while Sayori has 2 rice balls. Meanwhile, Monica packed what looked like a club sandwich. Damn. Get the naughty images out of my thoughts. No. Man, this is torture. Sayori and Yuri. Hey, Salty! Save over this one. I mean, we already know. I mean, I'm gonna choose Yuri. She should already know that. Bemused. You go first, Yuri. Alright, Salty, would you like to bite of my lunch? I'm not very hungry anyway. Are you sure? I've gone without lunch before, you know. I say that, but I was still hoping that she shares her lunch with me. That braised pork belly in her bento looks delectable. Yeah, sure. Here. She picked up a bite of food using her chopstick and offers it up to me. Are you gonna feed me? A startled look flashes over Yuri's face. Did she not realize what she was doing? Too late. Can't take it back now. They chomped down on the mouthful of food that Yuri holding. The taste of tenderly cooked meat and lightly aromatic rice flooded my mouth. They looked shocked. Suffice to say, it's good. Looking back at Yuri, her expression nearly makes me spew out the food in laughter. She looks crossed between mortified and happy, her face flaming. This is super tasty, Yuri. Thanks for the food. You're welcome, but next time you could use the chopsticks yourself. Fair enough. By the way, weren't you going to say something, Sayori? It's nothing. You were going to offer me a rice ball. She looks down and fidgets with the rice ball in her hands. Really? Come on, you can tell us what's up. I forgot. I think in that situation, I would just go ahead and just take a bite of the, sorry, I knocked my mic. Take a bite of the rice ball. Kind of, you know how she always goes and bites other people's food? I just do that and be like, oh, like, how do you like it? And she think that's cute, I bet. Hey, what you think about Monica? Anyway, what you thinking about, Monica? So she forgot, huh? Normally, I wouldn't let it go so easily, but since Yuri and Monica are here... Sorry, I kinda zoned out back there. What'd I miss? Yuri shared some of her food with me, and he said that it was good. I'm surprised that Yuri looks quite pleased with herself now. Oh, and she fed it to me. But please don't talk about that, it's so embarrassing. Looks like Yuri's really coming out of her shell, huh? Yuri covers her face with her hands, flustered beyond belief. Come on, guys, let's give Yuri a break. Why don't you join in the teasing, Sayori? Oh, 'cause I'm a nice person. Huh, you got us there. Plus, you never answered my question. Right. Monica sighs and picks at a fingernail. Well, I've been trying to decide on what I'm going to be doing in the next few years. I mean, I guess I will start by annihilating the entire human race, but then after that, I'm completely open. It isn't too long before we all end up graduating, so I've been trying to figure everything out. Aren't you planning to go to college, though? Yeah, I am. Despite her words, the tone of her voice sounds uncertain. That's what I'm planning on doing as well. I always thought that I was suited for academia. That definitely sounds like you, Yuri. So what about you, Salty? Do you have any post-graduation plans yet? To be honest, I haven't really given it much thought. No, I can't say I have a solid idea of what I'll do at the moment. Fair enough, we're only second years after all. Maybe I'll check into something to do with literature. Ha ha ha. Good answer. Monica smiles playfully as she says that. If you ever need any more literature recommendations, you can always come to me. I'd be more than happy to help prepare you for future degrees in literature. Ha, sounds good to me. So what about you, Sayori? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Maybe a teacher? That's a respectable profession, inspiring the next generation. I don't know if I had to guess Sayori's banking on getting... I don't know if I had to guess Sayori's banking on getting long vacations. Well, I wouldn't exactly complain about the long breaks or anything. She glances around and giggles a bit. Maybe I should teach Clatchland writing poetry. I could definitely see you as a teacher surrounded by a crowd of adorable kids. Salty would make a nice teacher as well, in my opinion. Huh, I hadn't thought about teaching as a career before. Really? How so? As a teacher in middle or high school, I mean. You're very kind and good at listening, so I believe that you'd be good at providing support for students. Ah, thanks, Yuri. Of course, that's just my opinion, but I wanted to tell it to you. She shyly twirls a strand of hair between her fingers as I smile at her. While I take another bite of Yuri's lunch, the girls keep on chatting amongst themselves. Monica's right. There isn't a whole lot of time before we have to go out into the real world. We don't have forever and ever to stay like this. So sad. Provided I don't think that I'd like to stay at high schooler forever. However, that also means that I'll have a lot more responsibilities to take care of. There's also the fact that that it'll be tough to stay close with everyone once we all split off to find our own schools and careers. I mean, what are the chances that we all end up doing similar things at the same place? Doki Doki Literature Club 2! Not that there isn't no change of the happening between at least two of us, but you've got to admit that it's small. Makes me kind of sad to think about not being able to talk to everyone every day. And now that I think about it, what will happen between Yuri and I? You gotta get her married, dude. If you get married, you have her forever and ever. Unless you get divorced. At this point, I'm pretty sure that I want to stay close to her. Even if we end up having different interests, she's someone who I don't want to let go of. Hey, Salty! Huh? You're spacing out. Sorry about that. What were we talking about? At this point, it's really tough to decide on big things like our future when we have to ask for permission all the time for little things. Like we're supposed to decide on what we have to do with the rest of our lives, but we can't even go pee without asking a teacher? That's a good point. That is a good point. Well, I'm sure we'll figure something out. We've got time, so let's enjoy it while we can. I suppose you're right. We still have a year left before we really have to worry about after all. The lunch bell rings. Alright, I'll see you all in the club. They smile and wave a bit half-heartedly. Looks like the conversation brought everyone a little down. Aw, they're all sad. Hope Natsuki hasn't expired in her home. It's like, Natsuki hasn't been there. Then you go in and she's like rotting and dead and been on the floor for like 2 weekends. The bus rattles a bit as it trembles down the street. The plastic hanging straps sway gently overhead. Oh, public transportation. You're always there for me. This is where you caught the COVID last time. I can always count on a ride from you, especially when meeting up with a cute purple-haired girl at the bookstore. Uh-oh. Ever since I got closer to Yuri, I've really been speeding through books. Having someone to read with definitely helps in making sure I finish the book, but also hasn't felt like a chore in a while. Suddenly the bus lets out a high-pitched whine as it eases into a bus stop. Here's where I get off. At Downtown Street. I'm not too far away from the bookstore now. There it is. And there's Yuri. I wave at her, although she doesn't see me. She fizzes with her hands and glances around, presumably looking for me. After a moment, we make eye contact. She immediately smiles wildly and stands up straighter. Hi, Salty. Hey, Yuri, did I keep you waiting? Oh, no, I arrived only a moment ago. Thanks for inviting me out, by the way. No problem. I was going to buy something here anyway. So, well, let's head in then, shall we? Let's. It's subtle, but I smell the scent of lavender and a touch of jasmine oil as she brushes past me. Once inside, the scent blends in nicely with the traces of old paper and ink emanating from the store. There's a sense of calm that envelops us the moment we step inside, bolstered by the quiet, lulling sound of flipping pages. Plastic cover gleams from the bookshelf as we pass by, and with each and every step inside, Yuri seems to walk with a little more energy. I haven't been here for a while now. Really? When was the last time you were here? I believe it was roughly a month ago on a Sunday. Why haven't you visited more then? You know, it's been busy. I should be spending so much money on books, too. She sighs quietly and runs her fingers over the spines on a nearby row of books. I would try to read books online instead of to save on money, but being able to physically flip through a page feels so much better. It's as if I just need something tangible in my hands. Yeah, I think I can understand that feeling. It's definitely easier to get distracted if I'm reading something online. There are a lot of books I haven't seen before in this aisle. One novel with a particularly ornated design cover catches my eye. The Awakening? This looks like one of those books considered classic literature. Yuri notices me eyeing it. Oh, are you curious about some of the novels here? I don't know, maybe this one over here. Why, have you read a lot of books in this section? She pulls the copy of The Awakening out from the shelf. Kate Chopin's The Awakening. I did read this in middle school. To be honest, I don't recall too much about the plot. Hold on, let me refresh my memory with the summary on the back cover. Her eyes quickly flit over the words of the back, and a moment later Yuri looks up with a smile. Oh yes, it's all coming back to me. This was quite the enjoyable read from what I remember. So what it's about? Well, it's considered a milestone of early feminist literature due to its social commentary and in-depth look into the main character's psyche. The novel is about a married woman in late 19th century New Orleans, or whatever. He struggles to find a place for herself in the restrictive society she lives in. Honestly speaking, I believe I liked the book so much because I could relate to some of the themes. Oh, like what? Well, some of the most salient themes are solitude and the impact of social constraints and expectations. It's easy to find yourself falling into a solitary lifestyle without societal support. In a way, detaching yourself from society can feel empowered and that you can take control over yourself away from outside influence. But it can also be quite lonely, too. I can see how the theme would resonate with Yuri so deeply. She must have been a loner even in middle school. The societal expectation presented in that era's version of the American South all worked to repress the main character's true desires and needs, especially since the main character is a married woman who has to struggle with gender roles too. So you can relate some of the expectations in the book's society to our society then. Of course, modern day society isn't as expressed as the Victorian era society. But still, there are always be special social norms that people would be hard-pressed to disobey. At any rate, Japanese society is rather restrictive in comparison to other countries. You've got that right. When I was a kid, I really wanted to move to America because of how freeing it seemed. Country of rock and roll, right? I don't know about that. But it's definitely more individualistic. Yeah. Anyway, they were getting a beautiful written book. I recommend it if you wanted to read a critique of society, although the ending is quite depressing. Was that a spoiler? Nah, you're good. If you're gonna recommend the book that passionately, then I guess I gotta give it a shot. I take the copy of the novel from Yuri and take it over in my hands. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you think about it. We continue strolling around the bookstore some more, this time looking for a book for Yuri. She paused at a display and flips through a paperback book with a black cover. What's that book? Battle Royale. I assume you've heard of it before. I love the movie. I've not read it. I did not know it was a book. Yeah, I actually read a bit of it before. I never finished it though. Speaking of rock and roll in America, the main character in it is pretty obsessed with the US. Although I'm guessing that you knew that already. Well, I'm embarrassed to admit that I've never gotten to read it before. There are too many books I need to read. How about we read it together then? I'd like that. She smiles shyly, her eyes twinkle behind her veins. And with that, we leave in the front counter to purchase our books. The sun's blindingly bright outside. The sun's blindingly bright outside, with contrast against the chill nature of the air. Would you like to get something to eat? Sure, there's a bakery nearby that's pretty good. You're gonna run into the girls there. They'll go like, oh, you two on a date? I bet you. They even serve tea. Last time I went there, I had black tea. Ooh, that does sound lovely. Feel free to lead the way. Within a few minutes, we're standing in front of the bakery. Although the glass storefront, we can see rows upon rows of pastries and bread. It's the bread and Eid! Yay! As we enter a wave of warm air carrying the scents of sweets and teas washed over us. It smells wonderful in here. Heh, if you weren't hungry before, you'd definitely be hungry now. Plus, they even have oolong here. Really? I suppose I know what I'm getting. I think I'll have a cup as well. As we approach the corner to order our drinks, the brownies on display once again catch my eyes. You're gonna get fat. You're gonna get fat. You know what? I think I'll have a brownie too. Yep, you're gonna get fat. I grab a tray with a pair of tongs to choose my own pastries. Yuri falls behind, hesitantly grabs the tray on her own. Are you getting anything else to eat? I think I'll have a small slice of vanilla cake. By the time we finish grabbing our food, the line's cleared up. Hi, would that be all for you? I'll have some oolong tea as well as this brownie. The cashier quickly rings me up, while another worker bustles away in the background to prepare the tea. And you'll order this? Yuri sets her tray down on the counter with a clatter. Her voice is very audible. Yeah, I'll have the oolong tea and a slice of vanilla cake. Excuse me, could you repeat that? I'll have the oolong. Her voice wavers as red cheek creeps up on her face. She glances desperately between me and the cashier. She probably wants me to save the day. I'm saving a lot in this one. Should I do something? She seems like she wants to be independent. Which would be this. She kind of looked at me like, save me, oh God, save me. I'm gonna go for order for her and just see how it goes. I might as well spare her the trouble as just ordering for her. After all, I know what she wants anyway. She'll have the oolong tea and this slice of vanilla cake. Is that okay with you? Yuri nods her head. Aw, she don't look happy. Alright, we'll have your tea done in just a minute. Just as the cashier said, it only takes about a minute or so until our teas are ready. Yuri avoids eye contact as we pick up our cup of tea. With our food in hand, we make our way over to some tables to sit down. As we walk, she keeps her head ducked down and her eyes steadily trained on the floor. My main mistake. Alright, we'll roll with it and we'll see. Hey, Yuri. Yeah. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that she starts playing with her hair, stroking it quite quickly. Don't worry about what happened. If If you'd like, when I'm around, I can help you handle all that stuff. That would be nice. She breathes a sigh of relief. Everyone has their own thing, that they're good at. You're a lot more book smart than me. It just happens to be more used to talking to people. We'll bounce out in a way. Yes, I suppose you're right. Kind of getting a half cop kind of thing, like, thank you. I feel like she's forcing the thank you. Don't mention it. Settled down at our table, we finally dig into our respective sweets. The inside of my brownie is moist and thick, the sweetness not too overwhelming. I look around while savoring my bite, chewing at a slow pace. Although the streets are still dotted with people here and there, the foot traffic is starting to lighten up. When I look back at Yuri, I catch her looking at me, her eyes filled with curiosity. Once she realizes that she's been caught staring, she sheepishly turns red in an admission of guilt. I'm sorry, Salty, I didn't mean to. Oh, relax, it's nothing to be apologized for. Embarrassed, she glances away from me. Somehow I got the feeling that she wants to say something, but is too shy to say it. As I muse over Yuri's thoughts, I pop another piece of brownie in my mouth. How's the cake, Yuri? Oh, it's a bit sweet, but very light. I'm assuming you're enjoying your brownie, judging by the smile on your face. She covers her mouth with a hand as she giggles. Okay, you got me. The brownie's really good. I see. I shiver as I took a sip of my oolong tea. Man, the sweetness of the brownie really makes the tea that much more bitter. Maybe I shouldn't have ordered it. Yuri sneaks several more looks at me as I continue eating. Does she want something? What's up? Oh, nothing! She says that. I notice that she's not looking at me exactly, rather she's looking at my brownie. Oh. Do you want to try some of my brownie? Do you want an indirect kiss? Yeah, if it's okay. Once again, she blushes as she speaks. It's really pretty cute, how flustered she can get. Come on, I insist. Before she can protest, I steal her fork and spear a piece of my brownie through it. Here you go. Make sure to eat it while it's still warm. Oh, thank you, Salty. You really didn't have to. Hey, sharing is caring, right? She giggles a bit as she hesitantly nibbles on the brownie chunk. Man, her eyes are really lightening up. Honestly, I didn't really expect Yuri to have such a sweet tooth. Pretty good, huh? It's very sweet, but the inclusion of dark chocolate cuts through the sweetness of it. We continue enjoying the food at each other's company, slowly passing the day away. After a while, she smiles, tracing the rim of her teacup with a finger. I've really enjoyed our time here today, Salty. This is a lovely little bakery as well. I have to revisit it on my own time. Thanks, Natsuki and Sayori. Thank Natsuki and Sayori for introducing me to this place. Oh, you came here together with them? Uh-oh. Nah, I just happened to see them eating here for a while. Oh, I see. But yeah, we should definitely come back here again sometime. Yes, that'd be nice. With our food finished, we get up and throw away our trash. Hey, you want to catch the bus? I think one should be coming around soon. Oh, that's me. I think one should be coming around soon. That sounds like a good idea. We settle down on the bus stop's bench, sitting closer together, but not too close. I nervously tap my finger on my knee. It looks like I'm running out of things to say. So surprisingly, Yuri saves the day by speaking up. Today has gone by much faster than I expected. It seems like only an hour ago that I left the house for the bookstore. She shifts the books in her bags and smiles down at them. Guess that means it was pretty fun then. I suppose so. Peering down the road for a moment, I spot a glaring set of headlights slowly getting glowing closer. They're gonna hit us! Hey, looks like the bus is here. It stops with a low hiss, and I motion for Yuri to get on ahead of me. Fortunately, it doesn't look too crowded, and there should be plenty of seats for us to sit together. Suddenly, Yuri stumbles on the step leading into the bus, falling onto her hands and knees, and causing her books to tumble out of her bag. I futilely reached out to grab her, but I'm not close enough to reach her in time. Oh! A few people peeping around curiously to look for the source of the commotion. Yuri quickly stands, her face flushed, as she stumbles to shove the books back in her bag. I reach down to help her. Here, let me help you. Are you okay, Yuri? I'm fine. With the last of books back in her bag, we finally enter the bus. Yuri speeds over to the first seat, She sees and sits down, keeping her head down as if avoiding the stares from the other passengers. She adamantly continues to stare out the window as I slide in the seat after her. You sure you're alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Desperate to hear words, I notice a wince breaking through her controlled expression. Yuri, let me see your hands. Why? Come on, just humor me for a moment. She reluctantly turns her hands over. They're red from the impact, but don't look particularly hurt. Which means, did you scrape your knees? She's wearing black leggings as usual, so her knees are covered up, but the material isn't very thick. A little bit. You want me to take a look at it? Oh, dang, I'm gonna look at a girl's knees? No! Her sudden outburst startles me a bit. Sorry, I just meant that it's fine. I'll just check it when I get home and bandage it as needed. Alright, if you're sure. Sorry. What for? She bites her lips and twists her bag's handles around her hand. For making you worry? You already done so much for me today, and... well, I just feel guilty. Yuri, you have nothing to feel guilty about. Worrying is what friends do, right? And that goes for everything else that happens today, too. And as your friend, I like helping you out when I can. I get it. Thank you, Salty. Yeah, of course. This has been so embarrassing. You just had an unlucky day today is all. Try not to worry about it too much. Easier said than done. Yuri mutters the last statement to herself, probably intending for me to miss it. The conversation fades out after this, leaving us simply watching the scenery blur by outside. Although we're not talking, it just feels right. Just sitting here, talking together like this. After a while, though, I decide to break the silence. It's nice to physically be with Yuri, but I want to continue getting to know her better, too. By the way, it seems like exams are coming up. It seems like we're being talking about them more and more lately. Sorry, we can talk about something else if you want. No, it's only natural that it come up in conversation. After all, we are students. Yeah, I think I've been thinking about them more often because I think things will go well for me this time. What do you mean by that? Well, I guess you could say that I didn't like to think about them before. They're such a drag, you know? I'd rather just distract myself than study. Salty. That's fine now. I've recently gotten a lot better at concentrating on studying and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that reading more has definitely played a role in that. Yuri tilts her head and smiles. Aw, good save. Really? That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm glad you helped me get into reading. So thank you for that. My heart rate bumps a bit as Yuri smiles wildly at me. A second later, she seems to catch herself and puts on a more demure expression. I mean, I'm just glad that you're enjoying literature now. She starts playing with her hair, seemingly distracting herself from her own thoughts and feelings. But I'm surprised that you couldn't concentrate before this. Huh? I mean, never mind. What is it? Well, you seem to be able to concentrate on video games and manga just fine. Sorry for being so blunt. You're fine. I have to admit that that's true. But it doesn't count. Concentrating on hobbies is totally different from doing something you dislike. Oh, well, that's true. Speaking of video games and manga, I should probably spend more time studying. Of course, we'll still hang out in the literature club, but... Yuri suddenly stirs up, her posture much stiffer than it has been just a few seconds ago. Sorry, but did I do something wrong? What? I don't really. I'm sorry, Salty, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just did it again, sorry. You're totally fine. And you didn't do anything wrong either, so don't apologize for anything. I'm not sure why you think you did, though. But you just said you didn't want to waste any time together outside the club anymore. I sighed quietly. I just meant that we should probably start studying more since exams are coming up. I still definitely want to hang out at school, and after exams are over, I want to do a lot more stuff with you. But I just might not be able to hang out as often until then. So you see, everything's alright. Well, except for the part about taking exams. I see. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. Please don't apologize. It's alright. What matters is that we're all good now, right? I suppose so. I'm just not used to people being so nice to me. Or to people actually wanting to be around me. That was so embarrassing to say. She looks out the window at the darkening sky, although I could see her crimson cheeks reflecting in the glass. Uh-oh, we're gonna get into some deep shit. Yuri. I'm not quite sure what to say, but I definitely know the feel crushing wave of sympathy for her. I don't know everything about what you've been through, but I do know that I want to be with you. Oh, damn. So you better get used to people being nice to you. The violet-haired girl turns towards me a bit, allowing a small smile to peek out at me. Thank you. As we approach, Yuri stops. We sit in a silence again for a bit. Salty? Mm-hmm. Are you okay? She looks at me with a deep sadness in her soft eyes. Can you promise me something? Of course, what is it? No matter what happens, will you keep being my friend? Without a doubt, Yuri. There's no question about it. A smile breaks through her somber expression as her eyes glisten under the bus's fluorescent light. You have a penis, don't you? Are you a trans? Is there an Adam's apple hiding underneath there? If I go to take it down and all of a sudden I just see Johnson coming in. Standing at attention. Is this the twist of Doki Doki Blue Skies? Is this the horror element? Okay. Okay. About that topic we were discussing earlier. I want you to call me Ronald. Well, why don't we study together? That's actually a really good idea. You can come over to my house after school and we're going to study the biology, aren't we? And we can study together. Well, I don't know how much I can help you, but I certainly benefit from your help. Yuri nods and opens her mouth to speak, but pauses when she realizes that the bus is at her stop. Looks like I'm getting off here, then I'll message you about the details later. I get up to let her through. Once in the aisle, she steps towards the exit, but then stops to turn back at me. Goodbye, Salty. Hope you're having a pleasant evening. See you at school. She smiles and then disappears into darkness outside. Ruh-roh. We could be getting into some naughty business. Two high schoolers go to study session. Oh damn, it's still dark outside. Huh. Should we continue? Yeah, I got a minute. Brr, I'm really starting to feel the chill of the nippy November air. This is an indication it looks like winter is going to be pretty bad this year. Blowing on my hands, I start the journey to school, although I stop once I see a familiar red bow on the sidewalk. Hey, Salty! Morning, Sayori. Man, it's cold, isn't it? And you all wearing your same stuff, man. She shivers slightly. No surprise given her uniform. Much like mine, it isn't really built for warmth. It really is. My hands are the worst. I'm always forgetting my gloves. Forgetting, or have you just lost them again? Same thing, really. Anyway, how have you been recently? Yeah, pretty good, thanks. How about you? Yeah, I've been okay. This year feels like it's gonna be so quick. This year feels like it's going by so quickly, doesn't it? Tell me about it. Since joining the literature club, it all feels like a blur. Yeah, you really settled in well, haven't you? I'm so glad that you managed to make friends with everyone so soon. Especially Yuri. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I'm just teasing. It really looks like you two are getting along, huh? Yeah, we are. Uh-oh. She's just really fun to talk to. Anyway, shrouded in mystery, so I never really know what to expect. Always shrouded in mystery. But it's not a bad thing, you know? I was kind of surprised to see her open up so much to you. Open up to you so much. I always thought she would have just kept to herself. I would not have bought her if I knew she was going to be a rival. Yeah, I guess. I'm not complaining, though. I'm just glad that I managed to get her out of her shell, you know? I don't think I'll have anything to talk to her about when we first met, but I'm glad to have been proven wrong. She's really smart and elegant, isn't she? Yeah, for sure. I've never met anyone like her before. I was kind of scared she'd be really judgmental, because, well, we both know I'm no poet, nor do I have any extensive taste in reading. But as I got to know her more and more, I felt like we actually have a lot more in common than I realized. She's really opened my eyes to a whole new world of literature. I'm really grateful for that. Sayori is quiet for a moment, although truthfully, I don't really notice. My brain is still preoccupied, thinking about all the times I've spent with Yuri. Salty! Huh? You're staring off into space. Oh, sorry, was just thinking about stuff. She looks down for a moment. What kind of stuff do you guys talk about? Never seen you so lost in thought, so I'm guessing it was pretty deep. Would you believe me if I said books? The Awakening, to give an example. I don't think I've ever heard of it. What's it about? Oh god, that's a question. Well, the main things are all about society, constraints, loneliness, expectations, that kind of thing. I didn't realize how lonely Yuri was discussing the book with it, and drawing upon the parallels between its theme and her life really made me notice. Although it's a strange way, it made me enjoy our time together. Felt like she's finally had a proper friend she could talk to about her hobbies. Should talk to her about her hobbies and walk with around town. I guess the feeling she doesn't really get to discuss her literature interest as much details, which is really sad. But seeing how happy and excited she was, it really put a smile on my own face. That's just like you, Salty. Always looking out for others. I remember you were like that with me and when we were kids. I remember those days as well. They feel like such a long time ago, don't they? They really do. Our conversation is cut short by school, looming in sight. After bidding each other goodbye, we both make our ways to our respective classes. About half an hour has passed since the start of the lesson. After explaining the task, Sakurai left us to our own devices while he sits at the front marking some papers. It's amazing how much more engaging the material is when you actually have an interest in it. I can't exactly say I'm on a history buff, but spending time with Yuri, especially when we talk about themes, has made me appreciate what the world was like during the previous century. It's easier for us to see now, but back then no one realized Germany was a breeding ground for hatred. It's pretty obvious now, yeah, I'll admit that. Everything's going alright, Salty? All good on my end, sir. You're right, this century really is interesting. Of course. Are you a smelly Joe? It's rather unfortunate how I'm limited with how much depth I can go into. Given that this is just high school history, I can't tell you about how they used to execute the Jews. Anyway, I wanted to ask you how you're feeling from your upcoming exams. Pretty confident. Actually, I've been doing a lot of reading, so I reckon I'll do pretty well with the essay subjects. Well, in that case, I expect your history marks to be a true reflection of how amazing your teacher is. Sorry, teacher humor. Anyway, that encourages to hear. How about the sciences and mathematics? Well, not my strong suit, but I'm a few study sessions with Yuri, and I'm hoping she consolidates my knowledge. Study sessions. He knows what study sessions mean in high school. You're adopting a very commendable approach to ensuring you're a well-rounded student. It has nothing to do with you wanting to spend more time with Yuri, I assume? Just teasing. But for what it's worth, take it from me, you're definitely killed two birds with one stone. Damn, kid. Or damn, sir. Stay out of my life. He winks and chuckles to himself. A warm flush coursed through my cheeks as I watch him as he approaches the next student. Okay. While he strikes me as the kind guy who's been in my situation... Well, he strikes me as the kind of guy who's been in my situation before. Maybe he's a time traveler. From the past when he was a Nazi to you, currently in the future before you became a Nazi, and then invented time travel to go into the past to become a Nazi, to become a teacher that will eventually teach Nazism and create Nazisms. Okay. With the sound of bell ringing in my ear, I pick up my things and head for the literature club. Maybe that's the big horror element of this game. Okay. I'm going to take a sip. I've been reading a lot. Okay. After waving hello to the girls, I take a seat. Soon after, Monica kickstarts the session. Okay, everyone. As you're all aware, exams are coming up, so over the next few weeks, I think it would be best if we put these sessions on hold. I know no one really wants to, but unfortunately it would be too busy to run them. Unless someone else wants to run these sessions in my place. There's a general murmur of conversation. It wouldn't really be the same without you, to be honest. Agreed. I could do with more time to focus on math and stuff anyway. As much as I enjoy these sessions, they don't really help out with that. How about you, Sayori, Natsuki? Yeah, it's a shame, but I understand. Fine by me. We need to have a Christmas party, though. Like we did with Halloween. We could definitely plan that after our exams are over. But for now, let's share poems, shall we? We got poems? That was a good session to end. Oh, we don't have any poems. That was a good session to end it on for now, guys. See you all soon. Oh, and Sayori, you wanted to talk? With that, I headed for the door with Yuri in tow. Ironically enough, I find myself thinking of Sayori this time as I walk home with Yuri. You're juggling the two chicks! What does she think about when she walks home? I kind of feel guilty walking home with Yuri instead of Sayori. But Yuri stayed behind to talk with Monica after the club meeting ended, so... A part of me is kind of glad that I got to talk to Yuri alone, though. Salty? Sorry I sort of spaced out for a bit. It's fine, you must be feeling stressed from all the exam preparations. Yeah, totally. Anyway, I was just saying, I'm glad that we did end up planning this study session together. I hope you brought the condoms. I brought the knives to poke the holes in the condoms and make you mine forever. With my help, perhaps you'll feel less stressed after today. Maybe. This is to say, if you need any help at all. I'm just trying to assume anything about your. I'm just not trying to assume anything about your capabilities or anything. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure I will need your help. How have you been, though? Read any new books? I actually did start on the one fairly recently. The Stranger by Albert Camus. Huh, is it any good? It is, at least in my opinion. Simply put, it's about a man who feels like, well, a stranger in society. He's overwhelmingly indifferent to life and as a result freely disregards social norms. I don't know if you're familiar with Camus, but he wrote a lot of the absurd. What, like ridiculous things? More like absurdity in a philosophical sense. Well, he doesn't exactly speak on it in The Stranger, but the novel is heavily entrenched in themes of absurdity, and they're shown through the seeming innate irrationality of humanity through the plot events. Funny enough, the main character only finds happiness after realizing that there is no inherent meaning to life. Huh, not that I actually find it funny or anything. Jeez, she's always overthinking her words. It's cute when she gets flustered, but it also makes me worry for her. Well, I'll do what I can to distract her from her nerves. So the absurdity comes from the lack of purpose in the universe, then? Not quite. Rather, it comes from the contradiction between the simultaneously need and inability to find that purpose. Dang, kind of depressing subject matter, don't you think? I suppose so, but interesting. Camus still thought that we should search for a meaning to life anyway. Casey got it wrong. That's how you win the conversation. I'm right, but in case I'm not right, do what you want. Hey, want to continue our conversation inside? With a start, Yuri looks up to see that we've reached my house. Oh, I didn't realize that we were already arrived. Sorry. Haha. I don't doubt that. After all, our conversation's been pretty interesting. Trying to get that laugh to come in, but it was not working. We make our way up to the front door as I rummage through my bags for my keys. Right, there they are. The lock smoothly turns with a sharp click, and with that, we're in. Want to do it on the zebra rug? That's the first thing I would say. I toss my bag onto the couch while Yuri places her gently on the floor. As I stretch, a yawn breaks open across my face. Tired already? She sits down at the couch and smiles at me with a gentle chuckle. Honestly, I've always tired when I get home from school. I can only take so much schooling before I collapse and die. I suppose I'll need a defibrillator ready when we start studying. Hope you know CPR. I find myself slouching down on the couch as we pull out our revision materials. So many notes to look over. I really don't want to start. Hey, speaking of death. You know how we were speaking about absurdity before? Isn't all that kind of similar to existentialism or nihilism? Yes, Although I'd say the absurdity, though, lies somewhere in between those two. For instance, existentialism would say that I know the word, okay? I just can't say it. Would say that you could find a meaning to life. Nihilist would say that you can't, and absurdist would assert that you can to some extent. So what would you say your meaning to life is? So you're finally asking this question. To be honest, I'm not too sure. I don't think I've read enough to form any solid conclusions. Really? You haven't read enough? It's not that it's hard to believe, is it? There are so many books out there that I want to read, but that I may never get to. And there are so many things that I want to do, but can't seem to bring myself to do. Like what? Yuri suddenly looks up and straight into my eyes, her eyes piercing through my soul. You! Like... Her eyes seem particularly intense, above her blushing cheeks and slightly parted lips. Never mind. She looks away just as quickly, her cheeks deepening in color. Ah, well, regardless, you can always ask me for help whenever you need it. She wants to bang. She bang. Seriously, I'll be really happy if you could depend on me. Thank you. You're so thoughtful, as always. I'm so glad that I have you to rely on, Salty. It makes me feel safe and secure. Yuri's voice suddenly takes on a sensual breathiness, causing shivers to run down my spine. Hey, Salty. You mean it, right? You're not lying, are you? She kind of has the creepy eyes. She's kind of got the creepy eyes. I mean, they aren't as creepy as the original, but that's still kind of creepy eyes. No, why would I? That's right. You never lie to me. I'm so glad. I never have to worry about you abandoning me. She's got abandonment issues. Oh, shite. Oh, leave her at the front door, my man. You do not want to get into that bag of shit. Yeah. Salty, my heart is beating so fast right now. Actually, go ahead right now and then leave her on the front door. I don't have many experience with romance, but isn't Yuri acting kind of weird? Yuri must have noticed my uncertain facial expression as she abruptly snaps out of her reverie. Sorry, I just said something weird. It's alright. And this is seriously awkward. One thing I seem capable of doing is laughing uncomfortably. Let's just change the subject. There's nothing strange about showing gratitude. So don't sweat it, Yuri. My buddy, my pal, that's how you destroy that situation. Be like, hey, I'm so glad that you and I are besties, we're just pals. Give her the whole, hit on the shoulder, like, best pals. Really? Okay, then, thank you. Anyway, we better get started on studying before it gets too late. After all, that's the reason, and the only reason why you're here, right? Yes. I wore my best panties, too. We spread out all the textbooks and notes on the coffee table and begin deciding on what to start. I'm wondering, were we supposed to go ahead and get banging? And what was the last decision that I make? Did I screw it up? I still feel too awkward to meet her eyes, but hopefully this feeling fades soon. Nah, I think it's still going on. Ah, shoot. The pen that I've been spinning twirls out of my grasp and clutters across the table. Yuri jumps a bit, startled by the sudden noise. She must have been concentrating hard on her problem sets. It's no wonder that she's a better student than me, and how incredibly focused she can get. Well, it's not like I set the bar high or anything, but she's just really diligent. Seems virtually immune to distractions and boredom. Unlike me, my mind probably wanders 80% of the time. It's been a while since we started, hasn't it? Looks like Yuri picked up on how bored I am. Yeah, we actually got a lot done. Thanks for all your help with math and physics, by the way. Oh, you're welcome. Helping you solidify everything in my mind. Oh, anyway, so... You don't give yourself enough credit. You're a real lifesaver. Thank you. I know that I sometimes have a hard time articulating my thoughts on certain topics. So just let me know if you need me to explain something again. Well, I think I get the gist of everything for now. My stomach gurgles before I can continue talking about schoolwork. Oh, on another note, how does dinner sound? Oh, I wouldn't want to impose. Come on, I'm gonna be cooking for myself anyway. What's more and more mouth to feed? Well, if you're absolutely sure. Oh, of course I am. Anyway, do you want extras to take home too? I want to make it up to your parents for keeping away for so long. Dude! Come on. They won't need it. They don't have a digestive tract anymore. In fact, their bellies are full of maggots. You don't need to go that far to be a gracious host. Alright then, if you're sure. You gonna study a little more, or do you want to help make sure I don't burn the house down in the kitchen? I'd love to help, but... She bites her lip, her cheeks pink. Would it be alright if I were to do a couple of stretches in the living room while you cooked? I apologize if that's inappropriate. Huh, you mean something like yoga? A little, although I've never specifically done yoga before. I feels a little bit embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So try to imagine Yuri doing yoga, my cheeks begin to heat up. That's an odd thing to do in a stranger's house, but okay. Okay, yeah, I can see why Yuri would think of that about yoga. Anyway, there's just some simple stretches to help relieve some of my back and neck pain. Oh yeah, she has those pains and such. I have terrible posture, and sitting down for extended periods of time with my back hunched over tends to make my muscles incredibly tense. Posture, huh? Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Feel free to do your exercise in the living room then. She smiles gratefully at me. It shouldn't take too long. Then she gets out and she starts yodeling and doing that chanting. She's like, oh, yo. She puts her thumbs up and, does all that. All of a sudden the lights start dimming and then she starts summoning like ancient spirits. And she's like, ancient spirits. Do stuff. Nah, I don't know. Weird. I ponder my dinner option as I head into the kitchen. I do still have some frozen dumplings left. But I don't really want to make it seem like there's the only things I ever eat. As much as I love them, a man's gotta have his limits. So what's another dish that could somehow impress Yuri? Rice is always an option, but I don't know if I have anything to make side dishes with. I thought rice was a side dish. I guess that's an American thing. I quickly wash the rice and pop it into the rice cooker while I think. If I still had some pre-made curry Rex left in the box, then bingo, I have enough ingredients for it. So curry it is. Good thing I went grocery shopping. My wine wanders, I dice the chicken and season it. This kind of reminds me of when Sayori and Yuri cooked for me when I was sick. Talking to Mom about the house always getting set on fire was not fun, to say the least. I'm just glad she understood that we were taking care of me and that mistakes happen. Speaking of, I better get the stove going. After a while, I'll get all the vegetables and chicken going in the pot. All it needs now is chicken stock, seasoning, and the curry roux, and it'll be done. I wonder how Yuri's doing. Hold on, I should focus on making the food first. No need to pull a Sayori here. The sweet and slightly spicy smell of curry has completely permeated the kitchen by now. It's just like when I was a kid. Back then it'd be Dad standing here, making the curry. We all sit around the table for dinner, talking about our days and the days ahead. I miss those times. But I just need to focus on living in the here and now. All that stuff is in the past. Otherwise, that wouldn't make anyone happy. I'm just gonna check on Yuri before I continue down the train of thought. Hey Yuri, you doing okay? A sharp inhale through my teeth sounds through the living room. Did I startle her? Whoops. Yeah? Her voice seems a bit strained as she answers back. I didn't accidentally mess up her stretching, did I? I'll be there in a moment. It's okay, feel free to take as much time as you need. I'll just be here. A few minutes later, I have the curry ladled into 2 dishes, alongside fluffy white rice. That is what I'm going to have for dinner tomorrow, because that sounds delicious. As if on cue, Yuri finally enters the kitchen, sniffing the air appreciably, sniffing. Apologizing for taking so long, Salty. Nah, it's fine. I've made curry before, so I've got this. Looks great, though. I haven't had Japanese curry in a while. Well, feel free to dig in, then. She smiles as she settles down into the meal. Eating together with Yuri feels almost like an intimate exercise. She carefully savors every bite as if she was a food critic imprinting the dish to her memory. So how's the food? Bring on all the critiques. I'm strong enough to handle them. Don't really. You'll hurt my feelings. Your curry turned out quite well. Although, I believe you could use more salt and maybe a bit more heat. Ah, you're into spicier dishes, eh? Well, when it comes to curry, I suppose so. My mother did always prefer spicier foods, and that ended up influencing my own taste. I'll keep that in mind the next time I cook dinner for you. My own parents like sweeter curry, probably because I don't have much of a spice tolerance to begin with. There's no time like the present to begin building up that tolerance, especially if you're going to marry me. We're going to eat all the spicy shit. You're going to have all the Taco Bell. You got me there. Anyway, if you're finished, I can take care of your dishes. Oh no, you're not. You're the one who treated me, so I should wash them. I can't allow myself to be such a bother. Hey, it's seriously no bother at all. But, alright, if you're not backing down, how about a compromise? I can wash the dishes and you can dry them. That works. We'll gather up all the dishes and pots and dump them into the sink. It doesn't take long for us to settle in a comfortable rhythm of washing and drying the dishes. However, my attention drifts more and more towards Yuri as time passes. At one point, I'm looking over in her direction more than I am at the dishes themselves. Well, she'd probably call me out Well, she'd probably call me out on it, but if my washing getting too sloppy. She's got that deep look of concentration on her face again. It's pretty amazing how she could get lost in doing things, from studying and reading to even doing the dishes. That's something I seriously admire about her. She has the unwavering ability to completely devote herself to her task at hand. Somehow I could never see her giving anything up halfway, though, or leaving her work unfinished. Honestly speaking, it's a quality that a lot of more people need. Salty? Huh? What's up? You've been washing your hands for almost a minute now. Wait, what? I look down and see that I've been literally scrubbing my hands with a sponge. Oh, sorry. I was just... Were you lost in thought? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Sorry. No need to apologize. You know how often it happens to me. After all, I'm surprised that you were that preoccupied with your daydreams. Though, what were you thinking about, if you don't mind me asking? Well, she was thinking about you. Well, I'm more surprised that Yuri isn't commenting about me staring at her, but it's good to know that I'm more stealthy than I thought. Or she's grown a lot more used to me at this point. I was just thinking about how nice the day has been. Yes, it's been lovely studying with you today. It's always nice being with you. I never find it difficult to talk to you, and you always make me feel comfortable being myself. Yeah, same here. We stare at each other for a moment, our blushing faces breaking into smiles. Salty? Huh? May I use your restroom? She shuffles away for a bit, clearly keen to rush away to the bathroom. That wasn't what I expected her to say, but if she does need to go, if you need to go, you gotta go, you know. Of course, Yuri, you know where it is, right? Thank you. Quick footsteps follow her upstairs to the restroom. Well, I don't know what I was really expecting, but guess I'll head back into the living room. It's dark. We'll go out and get some... It got all quiet. It's all dark. The mood's alright, you know. Might want to light up some candles, put on some Barry White. Oh, baby. It's not too late in the day yet, but it's already dark out. What's taking Yuri so long? She prepping, dude. Should I check on her? Shoot, I really hope my curry didn't upset her stomach somehow. I should probably see how she's doing, just in case. Don't be, running in there. She might be doing something with your shower head or something, or your pencils, like in the original. As I make it to the top, Yuri steps out of the bathroom. Oh, Salty. Her breathing seems a bit irregular, as she looks noticeably more disheveled than I remember. She must have noticed my concerned gaze, as she quickly turns away. Is there something on my face? You're just taking a really long time, so I wanted to check if you were okay. I'm fine, but thank you for your concern. Was she actually doing that? Was she actually playing the piano in my bathroom? Her breathing is still suspiciously uneven. Girl, were you playing with yourself when you got a nice salty dick that's just waiting for you? Are you sure? I said I'm fine. Okay, I'm sorry. She takes a deep breath. Sorry for snapping at you. I just feel like a little out of sorts. Oh, and no, I should be the one apologizing. I didn't mean to pry. Although I don't even know what I'm prying into. I think I do. I must be serious. It must be serious though, if Yuri's getting this irritable. It's no problem, Salty. Oh, was she having a period? We're quick. No, I don't think. We're quiet as we make our way back downstairs. I wonder what she's thinking. It's starting to get late now. Yep, I was just about to ask if you wanted to pack up and head out. I probably should. I don't want to keep you up too late on the school day. Yeah, keep me up. Keep me up past bedtime, please. Don't worry about it. I wish we could just hang out forever, but life has other plans. A little blush tingles Yuri's pale cheeks as she continues putting away her books. Not to mention the bus schedule. Yeah, we can't have you missing that now, can we? Come on, dude. I mean, there's always other buses. There's a soft look in Yuri's eyes as she finally takes her bag and moves to stand beside me. I believe I'm ready now. Alright then, let's go. Walking to the nearest bus stop, our pace is fairly unhurried. But that's alright. It's nice, leisurely walking through the night with Yuri by my side. Upon reaching the bus stop, we sit down and look up at the clear sky. Countless stars twinkle down from the endless ocean of the night. The darkness seems all the more deep and unfathomable when compared to the luminous moon. A melancholy smile graces Yuri's face, her eyes shining in the starlight. Hey, Salty. Isn't it strange to think that some of these stars we're seeing could already be dead? We just haven't realized it yet? Yeah, that's such a total turn-on, talking about dead stars and things. And we may die long before we ever realize it? Humans are ephemeral creatures, aren't they? You talk as though you're not a human yourself. I'm not, I'm a vampire. But it seems kind of poetic, our being able to appreciate and remember these stars' glory even after they disappear. Even though we might be short-lived in relation to the rest of the universe, I think it's lucky that we still be able to experience such beauty. That's a beautiful way of seeing it, Salty. You're right, people who die, we should be thankful that we were able to spend time with them at all. From dead stars to dead people, huh? I wonder if Yuri's experienced loss before. No shit, Sherlock. Looking back at her, though, it's clear that she once again drifted off into her thoughts. Not even the bus's arrival seemed to distract her. Hey, Yuri, the bus is here. Oh, you're right, I hadn't noticed. The bus is pretty empty, although why did I go with her? I was already home. I guess I'm walking the girl home, which is always good. The bus is pretty empty, although that's to be expected. Most people get off before it reaches the residential area. Yuri takes a window seat, and I slide into the seat next to her. The night sky outside is still as dark as ever, but now it's filtered by the fluorescent light reflecting off the window. Yuri yawns, politely covering her mouth as she does so. Excuse me, I'm just feeling incredibly tired all of a sudden. Yeah, same here. We were pretty productive today, weren't we? A few moments pass by quietly, with the two of us swaying gently along with the bus. Without a word passing between us, Yuri starts leaning into me. At this point, my nose is filled with the scent of lavender, mint, and lilac. Although I might not be sure of what the scents exactly are, what I do know is that it smells nice. Besides, it just feels so right. Don't do it on the bus, Salty. Gross. I can't help but feel totally relaxed, the warm fuzziness inside me causing my perception of time to slow to a glacial pace. Suddenly, Yuri sits back up with a jolt. Sorry, I didn't realize I was dozing off. It's perfectly okay. I can stay awake and keep an eye out for you if you want to close your eyes for a bit. No, I'm fine. She sure doesn't sound fine. Yuri practically can't keep her eyes open anymore. I'm not sleepy at all. Her voice has dropped down to a murmur as she hazily makes an attempt at rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Wake me up if I fall asleep. Okay. Alright, got it. With that, we fell back into a cozy silence. Within a few minutes, Yuri nods off once again. She feels so utterly warm beside me, it's making my heart race. You had a chance, dude. She was ready. If you wanted to go for that, you had it. You had it. She was home, She was ready. And here you are on the bus about to drop her off without doing it. I mean, there's a certain tranquility about the vulnerability of her expression while she's sleeping. Yuri must be really tired to completely fall asleep like this. I hate to interrupt her well-deserved sleep. After all, she helped me a lot today, as she should get her rest. Plus, it feels really nice to have her sleep with her head on my shoulder. But she did ask me to wake her. She did ask me to wake her again. She might just be too polite to want to sleep again with me. But then again, she might as well also want me to respect her wishes. Probably overthinking this. I'll just... Dang it! I didn't get to sleep. Or I didn't get to do that. Okay. I feel like that is more for what Salty wants to do, and that would probably be what she wants to do. You know what? I'll just let her sleep. She's way too peaceful for me to disturb her right now. Propriety be damned. I'll let her sleep on me for as long as she needs to. Her head is a bit heavy on my shoulder, but at the same time, her warmth makes me feel light inside. Man, I can't believe that Yuri's actually cuddling up to me right now. Back before I joined the club, I never would have guessed that I'd get so close to anyone before the year's end. It's definitely going to savor this quiet moment for a while. It's a while before Yuri and I finally flutters open again. Salty. She jerks back with an embarrassed look on her face. Did I fall asleep again? Yeah. Did you have a nice sleep? Yuri looks at me reproachfully. Ah, dang it. I thought I told you to wake me up. Hey, you didn't say when. Besides, I was going to wake you up when we got closer to your stop. A quiet sigh escapes from her lips. You know what I meant. Don't worry about it. It was nice to see you get some rest. I got a duty to look after you as a friend, too, right? Really? I suppose. She just said your friend word. She said you're my girlfriend. Sorry, I'm just particularly irritable tonight. Well, everyone has their bad days. Plus, if this is you when you're feeling irritable, then you've got the patience of an angel. And regardless of how you feel, I always try my best to protect you. She looks away bashfully at my complaint, her face red. It looks like I have to get off soon. I might have been asleep for a while. As the bus nears Yuri's stop, she goes through her bags to check that everything's in place. You didn't forget anything, did you? No, thankfully not. Want me to walk you home? No, I wouldn't want you to get that far out of your way. She looks down for a moment, scuffling her shoes against the floor. Thank you. What for? There's a hesitation before she answers, but she eventually shoots me a bittersweet smile. For putting up with me, perhaps. Hey, there's nothing you need to apologize for. I've had a great time with you today, and I wouldn't change a second of it. You're always so caring, Salty. Now it's my turn to be embarrassed. I sheepishly scratch the back of my head. No need to thank me. If you ever feel like talking, just let me know, and I'll listen. Her expression relaxes as she takes a slow, deep breath. That means a lot to me, Salty. With a slow wheeze, the bus finally stops to let Yuri off. Well, I'll be going now. Thank you for everything. You don't have to thank me all the time, you know. I'll see you tomorrow, Yuri. Waving one last time, Yuri ducks out of the bus and into the cool night air. Oh, man. Felt like we could have had a chance, I guess. I don't know. I feel like letting her sleep was the right thing to do. You don't want to wake a girl up. If she's irritable when she's falling asleep, I mean, how do you think she would be if you didn't let her sleep, you know? Okay, guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I've done a lot of reading. Well, remember that we got choices here and here that could potentially affect what ending we get. So, page 5. I'll remember that. I hope you all enjoy and have a nice and safe day and love one another. And have a great day. Subscribe if you can. Like if you want to. Bye-bye.